Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, folks, gather around because today we're diving headfirst into the world of Kenyan politics. We're talking about William Ruto, the current president of Kenya, a man who's been called everything from a shrewd political operator to, well, let's just say not everyone's handing out world's best leader mugs in his honor. Ruto's story is a wild ride, my friends, full of twists and turns that would make even the most seasoned telenovela writer break a sweat. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and get ready to unpack the enigma that is William Ruto.
Let's talk about a touchy subject: ethnicity in Kenyan politics. It's a topic that stirs emotions and often leads to heated debates. Now, Kenya's a beautiful tapestry of cultures and tribes, a rich mosaic that makes the nation unique. But that diversity can also be exploited for political gain. And when it comes to playing the ethnic card, William Ruto is a master of the game. His strategies are both admired and criticized. See, Ruto's a Kalenjin, one of Kenya's largest ethnic groups. This identity has been a cornerstone of his political journey. Throughout his career, he's been accused of using that identity to his advantage, rallying his base by appealing to their sense of solidarity, and some would say, their fears. His speeches often resonate deeply with his community. Critics argue that Ruto's brand of politics is inherently divisive, that he pits communities against each other for his own political gain. They believe his tactics deepen ethnic rifts. They point to his fiery rhetoric, his tendency to paint his opponents as outsiders who threaten the interests of his people. This kind of language can be polarizing. Ruto's been accused of using his influence to favor Kalenjin communities, doling out government contracts and appointments along ethnic lines. This favoritism has sparked controversy, but this kind of ethnic mobilization comes at a cost. It can lead to increased tensions and divisions within the society. So is William Ruto a unifier or a divider? The answer may depend on who you ask, but the impact of his politics on national unity is undeniable.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the world of political spin. And when it comes to crafting a public image, William Ruto's got moves smoother than a Kenyan marathon runner. Ruto's a master of the populist touch. He connects with the common man, speaks their language, and understands their struggles. He shows up at weddings, funerals, local markets, always the man of the people, always down to earth. Then there's the whole hustler narrative. Ruto paints himself as a self-made man, someone who rose from humble beginnings to reach the pinnacle of power. But critics say it's all a carefully constructed facade. So, is William Ruto the genuine article, a man of the people who truly understands their needs?
Let's be honest, folks. Kenyan politics is not for the faint of heart. It's a high-stakes arena where only the most cunning and resilient survive. It's a game of shifting alliances, backroom deals, and betrayals that would make Shakespeare's tragedies look like a kindergarten play. The drama is real, and the stakes are incredibly high. And in this arena, William Ruto is a seasoned player, a grand master of political chess. His moves are calculated, his strategies intricate. Throughout his career, Ruto's been known for his ability to forge alliances, often with unlikely partners. His knack for bringing together diverse factions is unparalleled. He's teamed up with former rivals, made peace with sworn enemies, and then, just when you thought you had him figured out, he switches sides. It's a constant game of unpredictability. Take, for example, his relationship with former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Their partnership was once seen as unbreakable. These two were once the best of friends, their political bromance the stuff of legend. They were inseparable, a dynamic duo in the political landscape. But then, like a bad marriage, their alliance soured. The cracks began to show, and the once solid foundation crumbled. They had a very public falling out, with accusations of betrayal, backstabbing, and broken promises flying back and forth. The drama played out in the public eye, leaving no room for reconciliation. Ruto's political journey is littered with the wreckage of broken alliances. Each failed partnership tells a story of ambition, strategy, and sometimes sheer survival. So, is William Ruto a strategic genius, a master negotiator who knows how to play the political game? Or is he simply a survivor, adapting to the ever-changing landscape of Kenyan politics? One thing's for sure, his story is far from over.
Okay folks, time to talk about the economy, the bread and butter, the ugali and sukuma wiki of Kenyan life. And when it comes to William Ruto's economic policies, well, let's just say the jury's still out. Ruto campaigned on a platform of economic empowerment, promising to uplift the hustlers, the mum and bogers, the boda riders, the backbone of the Kenyan economy. But so far, the reality has been a little different. The economy's struggling, unemployment's high, and the cost of living is through the roof. Critics argue that Ruto's economic policies are too focused on big business and foreign investment. They point to his tax cuts for corporations and his close ties to wealthy tycoons as evidence that he's more interested in helping the rich get richer than in uplifting the poor. So, is William Ruto the economic savior he promised to be?
Now, let's talk about a topic that's close to my heart: freedom of speech and the right to dissent. These are the cornerstones of any vibrant democracy, allowing citizens to voice their opinions and challenge the status quo. Because in a democracy, the ability to criticize your leaders, to hold them accountable, is fundamental. It's what keeps the system transparent and responsive to the needs of the people. But under William Ruto's leadership, some say that right is under threat. Allegations have surfaced, suggesting a systematic effort to stifle opposition voices. Since coming to power, Ruto's been accused of cracking down on dissent, of silencing his critics, and of creating a climate of fear and intimidation. This has led to a chilling effect on free speech. Opposition figures have been harassed, journalists have been threatened, and activists have been arrested. These actions have raised serious concerns about the state of democracy in Kenya. There have been reports of police brutality, of peaceful protests being broken up with excessive force, and of a general shrinking of civic space. Such measures undermine the very essence of democratic engagement. Ruto's supporters, of course, deny these accusations. They argue that these measures are necessary for the greater good. They say it's all about maintaining law and order, about preventing chaos and instability. They believe that strong actions are required to ensure national security and public safety. But for many Kenyans, it feels like a step backwards, a return to the days when speaking truth to power could land you in trouble. The fear of reprisal is palpable. So, is William Ruto a Democrat or an authoritarian? This question remains at the heart of the debate, as the nation grapples with the balance between security and freedom.
So, there you have it, folks, the William Ruto story. It's a story of ambition, of controversy, of a man who inspires both fierce loyalty and deep distrust. He's been called a champion of the poor, a ruthless political operator, a devout Christian, a master of deception. The truth, as always, is probably somewhere in between. Whether he'll be remembered as a hero or a villain, a unifier or a divider, well, that's a story that's still being written. But one thing's for sure: William Ruto is a force to be reckoned with, a man who's left an undeniable mark on Kenya and its people.